Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and hello everyone. Welcome back to Chemlife podcast where chemistry meets everyday life. I'm your moderator Yasmin Sofia and today we are diving into a topic that might make you think twice before your next beach day. Your sunscreen is killing the ocean and maybe you too. Now, you have probably heard of sunscreen as our best friend against the harsh UV rays. But what if I told you that some of the very ingredients protecting your skin could actually be harming marine life, especially our coral reefs? In conjunction with World Habitat Day, we are going to explore how certain sunscreen chemicals break down in the ocean, what reef safe really means, and how chemistry is helping us find better and eco-friendly solutions. And joining us today is a very special guest, Associate Professor Dr. Muhammad Fuad Miskon from Kuliah of Science International Islamic University, Malaysia. Dr. Fuad is a respected academic and researcher with expertise in biogeochemistry, focusing on how chemicals interact with ecosystem. His insight today will help us understand the science behind sunscreen safety and its environmental impact. Dr. Fuad, thank you so much for being with us today. It's a pleasure
So,
to have you with us today, Doctor. Let's begin with our first question. Okay, first question. How do sunscreen chemicals like oxybenzone and octinoxate break down in the ocean? And how can this affect marine ecosystems such as coral reef and marine life?
right. Assalamualaikum everyone. Thank you, Yasmin, for introducing me. Again, I'm Fuad from Department of Marine Science. So I'm a lecturer, so I'm a researcher, and I also a diver. So I've spent a lot of time underwater, not just for my research, but also for having fun too. All right. Maybe I start with this. Like Yasmin just said just now, I mean, you all have went for maybe not diving, but maybe snorkeling, and you're all wearing sunscreen, and also you feel that, oh, I'm already eco-friendly. So I did that too, actually, until I learned that actually some sunscreen, even those that label reef safe, can also harm corals. So it's something I now see differently every time I dive. You could see that for my wallpaper, that is from Tioman. If I'm not mistaken, the site is Batu Malang. That is my student actually, a student of marine science doing a project for research project. So where is this line actually? We need to identify the diversity of the coral. So what you see right now on the wallpaper is the coral itself under, I think it's around 10 meters under the oceans. Okay. So I back to the questions by Yasmin. So when you swim, part of the sunscreen doesn't stay on your skin, right? I mean, we are all wear sunscreen to protect us from the UV, from the UV to prevent the cancer. So when you wore that thing, so part and then you swim under the water, so the part of the sunscreen doesn't stay on the skin, right? And then the studies estimate that around 4 to 6 thousand of sunscreen has been washed into the oceans every year. So those chemical, they don't just disappear. So they react with the environment. Uh, so if you back to the science of the how this UV, how the sunscreen chemical works, so they act like a filter, right? They filter the UV that chemical to penetrate into our skins. So the filters like oxybenzone and octinoxate, so designed to absorb this UV light, right? So, but when we reach the seawater, they break down. So they brown into reactive oxygen species. So based on the research that has been done in this field, so this particular reactive oxygen species, it's damaged coral DNA and their membranes. So, for examples, did oxybenzone, for instance, it's disrupt the coral hormones and can cause the deformities in coral reef, so making it difficult for them to attach and grow. So basically, like coral that you see in this wallpaper is combinations of two species, two kind of living things. So that coral itself, that hard coral things, and also the algae, the coral larvae, the algae, the zooxanthellae, we call it a zooxanthellae. So both of them are symbiotic species. So basically, when this particular oxybenzone, so it's disrupt this coral hormone, so they cause this coral larvae cannot work as it is, as has been designed by our creator, by Allah, right? And then the the most important part, and then the most shocking part, actually, this effect actually occur at a very lower concentrations, as like 62 ppt, if I'm not mistaken. It's like one drop in. We have our pool area at uh, sport complex, right? So you times that by like 10. So it's only like one drop in that 10 particular pools. Some sort of that. Okay, so from that particular concentrations can cause these harmful things. So as a diver, for myself as diver, so I've been quite dive in lots of area, especially in our South China Sea, which means that Perhentian, Pulau Bidong, Tioman, Pulau, what else? Pulau Tenggol, something like that. So I have seen this reef near the crowded places. Actually, they have more stress than the remote side. I mean, like the one that very far from the village, very far from the people, very far from the tourism activities. Okay, so we can see that from there, the coral is there, but when anything happens to like coral bleaching, their recovery are much more slower compared to other things. So which means that their particular structure itself has been altered somewhere, like maybe also from this sunscreen residue and all this, because the sunscreen residue are very invisible. So, but their impact actually accumulate. So the corals actually didn't die instantly. So they slowly lost resilience. So it will bleaching faster when the heat stress coming, and when they recovery, they will be very slow. All right. So maybe I have answered your question, Jasmine.
I'm so shocked that even small concentration can cause coral bleaching, and it really makes us think about how interconnected our action with the oceans have. So, as you mentioned
Yes.
earlier, about reef safe sunscreen, can you explain more about what does reef safe actually mean, and is it really safe for coral reef?
All right. So actually, this is will be very quite tricky. I mean, like, because the term reef is actually is not regulated by any global standard yet until now. So which means that this product can print whatever that you could say, I mean, for marketing purposes, that even if it still contains the harmful chemical, that's the thing. I give some examples. So I also wore this particular reef safe thing because I dive, so I seen coral, right? So I want to save them also. I want to make sure that they are healthy. Actually, for everyone here, so coral is a basis for life at the oceans. I mean, like corals, you could say that coral is like a home for small fishes and everything. So from that particular small fishes, you could have a bigger fishes and bigger fishes that accumulate interrelated by the food web. All right. Okay. So that which means that if you take care of coral, you will take care about the environments of the fishes, biodiversity and everything, turtle and everything else. You could say that actually it's origin from there, kinda. All right. So we need to take care about the coral. So I also wore before this, I wore two types of sunscreen. So I bought the, if I'm not mistaken, wait, it's Mistin UV cut. So it's safe. It says there, reef safe and no nano. So and then I check the ingredients. So I check the ingredients. So I compare that with the particular paper and everything. Actually, it still contain the oxybenzone. So it still contain the octinoxate. All right. So this chemical actually is banned in Hawaii and Palau places for coral toxicity. But this particular product, I've been bought that quite long time before. Uh, but then when I see that product again, so I could say that actually this is not reef safe at all. This might be a marketing for marketing purpose. I mean, like you could say, I'm okay, I'm coral reef friendly. Okay, let's buy this like 10 buy, 10 things of that. So for that one for marketing, all right. So that's a perfect. I think it's a perfect example of a marketing without science. All right. Okay. Then this year, I also went to Tioman for diving. So I went to Watson or Guardian. I forgot about that. So I bought another one. So the one the orange color UV protections. If I'm mistaken, Target Pro UV protections in orange color. So basically, this one use the newer generation UV filters like Tinosorb and ethylazyl triazole, if I'm not mistaken. This filter is a new generation. So these filter are they are more photostable. They are more photostable, water resistant, and less viable to corals. Which means that from the product that I used long before, and then the product that this year I bought, so there was a science and developing research towards to make sure that deep reef safe is there. Okay, this is very good. I mean, like for this particular development, this is very good. All right, which means that the science so far has says that they will be reef friendlier, but not reef safe, reef friendlier, which means that we are not there to the target and that this particular UV screen is very safe, not yet. But we have been like this UV sunscreen is friendlier. Okay, actually it's a marketing term, lah, right? uh, all right. Okay. So and then from some of the papers, research article that I've been I've been read before. So they also says that these chemicals are reef friendlier, but not completely harmless. Okay, which means that not 100% harmless. So even there's a paper on 2035. It stated that this reef safe mineral products still contain a zinc oxide that around 90% that will have a coral tissue loss within like days, within a week, I think, in a lab test. Okay, so basically, so the truth is that reef safe, this particular words is is a marketing also. It's a spectrum. It's a word. I mean, but not a guarantee. All right, it's not 100% guarantee. So a real reef safe sunscreen should be free from this oxybenzone, free from this octinoxate, and the nano-sized particles. But we are not there yet. But for everyone, always try to check back the labels. Okay, not just the front, because usually front we always have a very like, okay, this one very good for the coral, this one very right. I mean for marketing, right? So you need to check the back. I mean the ingredients. I mean for like right now you are all very blessed with the ChatGPT, Grok, or lots of AI, right? So just scan there. Yeah, you could have some idea from that.
So we need to bear in mind that reef safe doesn't always mean 100% harmless. And also, this definitely show how consumers need to be more aware about ingredient list, right? Checking ingredient list and looking for what sounds more sustainable is a simple step that can make a huge difference when multiplied by millions of users, I think. Okay, so we go to the last question, which is how can chemistry help develop sunscreen that are safe and safe for both human and coral reef?
Okay. And I've seen that there's a developing of awareness and the increasing development of awareness, increasing of research about these particular things. People are more prone to protect the environments, more protect the coral reef in what we are discussing today. All right. So we have a term like green chemistry, and right now, scientists using this kind of green chemistry to design the UV filter that are stable on skin. Okay, stable on skin, but can degrade harmlessly in seawater. All right, so we are going to have the win-win situation there. So some of the research paper that I've read. Okay, so some research have started to use the model of marine life itself. Okay, so they found that some fish, some algae, so they naturally produce the MAA, which is the mycosporin like amino acid. So this MAA actually is small organic molecules that act as a natural sunscreen. Okay, for the fish, for the from the fish and from this algae. Okay, so this particular MAA can absorb this UV radiation without producing reactive byproducts. Okay, so this could be the next step in the sustainable sunscreen development. Okay. Another thing, I found that some studies also have using in encapsulation, which means that they trap the UV filter in microcapsules that don't leach into water. Some sort of that. It's like a molecular cage per se. So actually it protects you, but staying on you. But this one, I also need to look more. I mean, how do they apply that more? And some the 2025 papers that I read. So even eco formulations, okay, the terms of eco formulation can stress corals if not properly tested, which means that you need to properly test it with lots of testing in the lab before you apply that on the natural environment. All right. So the what can I say that when what can I say is the future sunscreen chemistry must consider bioavailability, okay, must consider the seawater solubility, and also must consider the coral physiology. So not just human SPF rating per se. I mean, okay, we want to achieve the win-win situation because if we are not protecting the environment, it will back to us later. We will not have fish, the oceans that provide us oxygen, everything will be problematic and everything. The weather will be so much hotter because ocean actually it's not preventing. I mean, like one of the factor that give us a very good weather. That particular some sort of that the info. Okay, so so for you all as the chemistry student who are chemistry students that listening, so this is actually an area waiting for your innovations. Okay, so we are all the coral reef field, so we are all waiting for your innovations. All right, and I think maybe I answer your question just now, Yasmin.
Yes, great. Do you want to share with us how can we choose product that protect our skin while also protecting the ocean? Like some tips.
All right, okay. Good question too. Okay. Uh, I just share just now to everyone. I mean, like think like a scientist who want to protect the environment too, which later can protect us. Okay, so when you have the sunscreen product, so flip the bottle, check the ingredient list, so avoid the harmful ones. I can share to everyone here. You can actually Google the Safe the Reef guide. There is a paper. There is a list of chemical that harmful for environment, harmful for the coral. So Save the Reef, I think it's from 2023, called the HL list. So it has the all the lists of oxidazole, octinoxate, parabens, homosalate, if I'm not mistaken. I just check the list there. So there is a lots of list there. So you can try to choose the product that don't have that particular this. All right. So next will be try to use the non-nano. So usually the nano have a very tiny sizes that which can penetrate into the runs very efficiently compared to the mineral base filter. All right. So try to have the non-nano mineral filter, or maybe try to have like the new generations organic. If I'm mistaken, the trial zone. If I'm not mistaken, the trial zone. Okay, that one is the on the chemistry base, but on the behavior base, I think you can go beyond the chemistry about this one. Okay, try to change the behavior. Number one, you try to apply sunscreen. It's like 20 to 30 minutes, right? Even the how to use the sunscreen itself, the application is like that. So you need to apply like 20 to 30 minutes, so mean that it bonds better to your skin, which means that when you into the water, the contact with you are much more stronger compared to you just apply and then you just jump to the water. It will like actually nothing protect you if you are like that. All right. So have that sunscreen like 20 or 30 minutes before entering water, and try to use rush guard and legging. I mean for usually for brothers, rush guard, which means that the shirts that protect you during the diving. Diving when you diving, okay, when you diving using your normal shirt, it will be very cool. It will be very cool. So that's what rush guard or a wetsuit is there. Wetsuit is the one that usually in the movie you have a very long one, a very thick one, usually in black color suit. The one actually uh, protect uh, protect your body from lose the heat, so you will not feel very cold inside the water. But the rash guard also is like that, but it's like more thinner, and the rash guard should be like cover yourself in lots of area, so you don't need to apply sunscreen much, right? If you was like for brothers, you use the sleeveless, so of course when you sunscreen you like whole hands you use sunscreen. I mean, what for? You just have the very long sleeve of rash guard, and also legging, full legging. All right. It is not just to protect from UV. Actually, when you under in the water, you are protecting yourself from the some fishes that want to bite you. Maybe some jellyfish might be. All right. And also number three, try to avoid the spray sunscreen. Like my student bring there before during my diving with them. So just of course it's like very convenient. You just there, right? But the one actually they scatter the fine particles much more fluently into the water. Okay, even it's not it will be scattered everywhere during when you apply that, because you just there, right? So it will be into the air, into the sand, into the water, just like that. All right. Okay, try to have the okay, number four, maybe the last one. Maybe the last one, try to pick the brands with biodegradable or recyclable packaging, not single-use plastic. This one actually is related to about the microplastic kind of pollution from this one. Try to avoid the single-use plastic, because the microplastic. This one actually part of my research. Actually, really impact the coral by the one. And remember, some of these harmful chemical actually don't just affect coral. They're being found in human urine, blood, breast milk, which mean that showing potential them as a endocrine disruptor. So what can I say? Maybe protecting reef are also protecting us as a human yourself. All right, back to you, Yasmin.
I love all of that advices. And yes, guys, remember all the four tips that doctor give to us to apply when you want to buy your sunscreen. Okay, that's really inspiring, and it's also reassuring to know that researchers are working towards sustainable and effective sunscreen that don't cost the planet. So, what a fascinating discussion today. We have learned that every drop of sunscreen matters, not just for your
Yes.
skin, but for the sea life beneath the wave. Thank you to our guests for joining us and sharing such a valuable insights. And thank you to all listeners for turning into Cam Life Podcast. Until next time, I'm Yasmin reminding you to stay sun safe and ocean friendly. Assalamualaikum.